Hi everyone. We get this question all the time. How do I find a sponsor in Australia? First and foremost, you need to have a skill. You need to have experience with something or have studied in a field. Otherwise, if you don't have skills for an Australian employer to utilize, then your chances will be not very good. Now, if you have a skill, and that's where a lot of people come to us with questions, is I'm here on a student visa, I'm here on a graduate visa, I'm here on a working holiday visa, but I can't seem to find a sponsor. How do I find sponsorship in Australia? My dog just photobombed the video. The first thing is you need to have a good resume. You need to, and when I say resume, I don't mean getting a paper resume and going door to door, delivering your resume to potential employers or recruiters. This would even be seen as a bit weird nowadays, unless you're working in hospitality or in the clothing shop where you can, knock on the door and say, hey, I'm looking for work. Here's my resume. It's not very usual to hand out a resume. So I'm talking about an online resume. So you should have a nice PDF document with, all your skills and past experience and past studies in Australia and overseas. And you should have a very good online presence. So don't have a crazy open Instagram account where potential employers are going to see you, at a party on the weekend with your friends getting crazy. Have a good LinkedIn profile that highlights all your experience and the skills you can contribute with to an employer. Talk about visa eligibility on your CV, on your LinkedIn page, and in real life when you get an interview or when you're applying for work. Be upfront about the fact that, yes, you are on a temporary visa in Australia, what visa you have, what work rights this visa comes with, and talk about how you are eligible for sponsorship, which you would have to talk to us first so we can tell you if you are eligible or not. But then showing that, one, you've spoken to a migration agent, you found information about what type of visa you would need to work in the country, showing that you are eligible, showing that you did your homework, shows that, one, you're serious about working in Australia and finding a visa in Australia, and two, that you are going to help that employer. If they have never sponsored anyone, you show that you already know what needs to be done. And another important tip is to put that employer then in touch with us. Tell them my migration agent is open to talk to you and explain the process to you, as well as work with you in the application, because not only we can help you with the visa application, but we help employers as well with their side of the application, which at least one application will be required, which is a nomination application, if they are already approved as a sponsor. If they're not already approved as a sponsor, we're going to have to get an approval for them as well. So at Bravo Migration, we can help both you and that potential employer. And we're super happy to talk to an employer, even if they're just interested in hiring you and they need to know how the process works. Because if we don't explain to them how the process works, then we won't be able to work with you and with them. So we're happy to do so. Now, don't underestimate the power of networking. So that's another tip we have. So perfect your resume and your online presence. Highlight your visa eligibility and show that you are working with a migration firm already. The next one is network strategically. I have met many people in my life in business scenarios, but also in personal scenarios where, those networking contacts were helpful for me in my professional life over the years. So just get yourself out there, make friends, go out, but also put yourself in business situations. Go to workshops, to networking events, if you're in Australia, obviously, and try to meet people in your industry. Reach out to people in your industry. I have some clients who reached out to people via LinkedIn and went out for coffee with people in their industry. This is super important. If you want to network with recruiters, that's also great. But again, I wouldn't knock on the door of a recruitment agency because that would just be weird. I would reach out to them online via LinkedIn. Now, try to find if there's any companies, any employers in your industry that already have sponsored people in the past. If you hear from someone who already works somewhere where they were sponsored, or there's anything on the news. Unfortunately, there is no list of companies that give sponsor, but if you do some research, you may be able to find some in your industry that do, and then approach them and go from there. And lastly, use our support. Sign up to our newsletters, keep in touch with us, read our blog posts, check our Instagram account, because we're always posting information about sponsorship visa updates and things like this video where you can get tips in terms of how to find sponsorship. But most importantly, not always, but occasionally, our employer clients, because again, remember, you can become our client and so can your future employer. So we have many employer clients in our portfolio. Sometimes those clients reach out to us and say, I really need to hire a chef and I can't find anyone. Can you reach out to your audience, to your community, and see if anyone's interested? Recently, we just sent a newsletter where one of our employers, who is a hotel in regional New South Wales, they're looking for 3 chefs, 1 hotel manager, and 1 shop manager. And we sent out a newsletter saying, hey, if you're in Australia, this company might be interested in sponsoring you if you have the right skills. So stay in touch with us, leverage our updates and our support for your benefit. And remember, the sponsorship visa has existed in Australia since 1996. It's nothing new. The majority of employers know about it already. And because Australia has been in a skills recession for many, many years, it's very common for companies to sponsor foreign workers. It's not a big deal. It's just a matter of you finding the right employer to sponsor you. And that's a mixture of your planning, your efforts, a little bit of luck, but you can make this happen, I'm sure. And when you do make it happen, we're here to support you. Get in touch with us when you have a job offer or an interested employer, and we can help you and that employer secure the visa for you. Good luck with the job hunt, and thanks for watching.